programme features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome everyone to our sunrise safari. We are busy trying to find a lot of animals on the road. Seems like not too many of them were active last night. And this is Safari Live.
Ready. Standing by.
Five, four, three, two, one. You are live, you are live.
Hello everyone! We are very happy to have you guys on board today as we search for animals in the African wild. My name is Ali and on camera with me today I've got Seb, who seems to be very brave and not wearing any gloves. Very cold this morning. If I could, I would be wearing 2 pairs. This morning we've set out going to higher ground, see if maybe that would make a difference for the animals, going to areas where it's slightly warmer as the sun starts getting up. But it seems like, you know, our strategy doesn't agree with the animals because we haven't even seen tracks of any of them. We came around here also hoping to see if maybe we could find any tracks of Shadow, see if maybe she came out the drainage line where she was last night, but haven't been able to find anything yet. The sun is slowly starting to come up, so as it does, then we'll try to maybe give you guys, we'll try to get it to show you guys. Let's see, what do we've got around here? Right, if you guys have got any questions as we go along, please do use the hashtag Safari Live and we'll be more than happy to get to your questions or any other comments that you may have for us. The road leads in too many directions. Where should we go? Where should we go? I think maybe let's go in the direction of the beautiful tree that never fails. While we carry on looking for pretty much anything and anything under the sun, let's go over to Taylor, who wants to say good morning.
Good morning again, everybody. Welcome to a fantastic edition of a Sunrise Safari. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and on camera with me today, we'll just remove my hair from my mouth, is Craig, aka Man. Well, we're driving around on the safari, of course, just as Ali is, and we're hoping to find all sorts of incredible animals. But just a reminder, in case you haven't just tuned in, hashtag Safari Live with all of your questions, comments, pictures, anything you would like to know. We'll hopefully be able to assist you this morning. And I'm not sure if Brent's going to be joining us. I'm sure he will a little bit later, once they all get powered up. I'm just checking very carefully if you see my head dangling off of the side of the car. It's because, as you know, many animals were moving around last night, and especially the ones that you'd all like to see, the bigger cats, first thing on a cool winter's morning. So I'm keeping an eye out and just trying to see what the latest headlines are, of course, today. And when I mean that, I'm obviously just joking. But the guides always refer to the road as a newspaper, because it's literally where we get all our information from. Oh wow, Craig, look how pretty it is. Oh. Ali has also got a sunrise this morning. We've got a little view, but I thought that this was a different type of view, with all the bushes in the distance silhouetted, and the sun is just about to peep over the top of the trees. Isn't that quite nice? I think Ali's actually got a better spot, if I'm not mistaken. Megan, where is Ali? Is Ali on Zoe's road? Because if she is, that is the best spot to watch the... well, that's even better. She's on Rebecca's road by the sounds of it, and that is one of the most gorgeous views of a sunrise. What we will do now is that I'm sure she can actually see the sun peering over the horizon, so let's go across to Ali now and see what her view looks like.
well, I'm not too sure if maybe a better view, but we definitely do have a quick view, because it seems like the sun is very, very eager to get up. I mean, we've been looking at it for maybe 20 seconds and half of it is already out. So it's amazing just how quickly it starts going up the ridge over there, up the mountains and the escarpment, and then, you know, it'll take it a bit longer just to get into its full force and start warming everything up. But isn't it beautiful? It was incredible. You almost expect everything around it to go up in flames and, you know, just start burning up. But luckily the sun is quite far away from us, so it won't cause that. Just as we're looking at this very beautiful sunrise, we have been hearing some ground hornbills calling from not too far. They almost sound like, you know, those water sticks that you know, a lot of like boo boo boo, boo boo boo. It's quite a unique call to them, and that's partly why they call them in some areas the rainbird. So I wonder if maybe after we're done with this pretty sunrise, we should go and investigate, see if maybe it's the same ones as Taylor saw before. They are quite uncommon around this area, protected species of birds, so why not trying to go and see if maybe we can make new friends, new endangered friends. That, you know, gives it a bit of an edge. Ah, very peaceful seeing the sunrise every morning, isn't it? I was laughing yesterday because I was quite tired in the evening, and Tristan was making fun of me because he says that I'm like a chicken. I get up with the sun and I go down with the sun. Mama Brew, you'd like to know what the temperature is today. Well, it doesn't feel as cold as yesterday in some areas, so the temperature is 15 and 59 Fahrenheit. So we are quite warm. I don't think we can complain for the day, and it's just gonna carry on getting warmer throughout the day. So normally at the peak of midday we'll have a temperature of maybe 26, 25. Sometimes it'll go up even as much as 28 Fahrenheit, and then we'll be very warm, wearing far less layers than what we are now. So I will probably only be wearing a shirt, because I've got about 5 right now. So let's head in that direction, see if perhaps we can find the very noisy ground hornbills that we're calling just now. It'll be quite a good thing to say hello, and hopefully, you know, we'll get them flying across the horizon with the beautiful sunrise behind them. I don't think I've ever had that, but one can dream. Because, isn't this pretty? Look, with the reflection of the sun, the beautiful grasses. Now that we're leaving the beautiful sunshine behind and we're heading into a bit of a thicket, let's go over to Taylor, who seems to have found something on the ground.
We actually have literally just found something on the ground, and I'm going to jump out to show all of you. Just have to get the wires detached from the car. Right, where's the goodie? I don't know, I don't want to take my gloves off because my hands are going to get cold. Let's try and draw with this. Craigie, can you see this track down here? Hang on, I'm gonna... Right, look here. That is a female leopard track. There's the pads, the 3, to identify that it's a cat again, and then here are the toes, and this is from last night. This will be exactly the same leopard that was moving around here yesterday morning that they saw off Shibama Road, which is not too far. We've just come from Shibama Road. We then had her tracks going into the drainage line near Rebecca's, and I think that it is Tundi's footprints that have been moving around. I have a suspicion it all just makes a lot more sense, especially with sitting at the Mulwati yesterday afternoon staring across in this distance. So I think that's who was actually seen. I don't think it was Shadow at all. I don't know if she knows that she can come this far this side. So that's quite interesting. That's really good. We'll see if we can follow these tracks now. But they do look like they're from late last night. But I'm just going to try not drive over too many, and I do need to call them in very quickly. On my bars I've got female leopard tracks going east along the southern road towards Treehouse Dam from Shibama. There's one following up. There we go. So I'll call those tracks in case anybody else wants to come through here and give us a hand, because that of course would be much appreciated. And we always say it's easier to find animals if there's more people looking for them. Not too many though, because otherwise you start getting guides driving over tracks and then it just becomes a little bit messy. So ideally when you are tracking out in the bush, you don't want more than about 3 cars working a particular area to try and find animal. Because otherwise there's just too much chaos. So we'll start off with just me, and then I'm sure as the other guides start nearing towards Vuyatila, we'll jump in and join in on the search too. I heard some rumblings on the radio about Votomi earlier, so I think he must be around Torchwood, around Nkoro, somewhere around there. That's what the guides seem to be following up on first thing. Now I just want to check here quickly to see if these tracks carry on. I'm sure they're going to continue going that way, but let's just have a little look here at Treehouse Dam anyway. Let's just scan around, make sure that there isn't a leopard just sitting on the edge of the water. Though there aren't too many birds shouting about just yet, alarming for any big cats. Seems quite pleasant and quite quiet actually. Good morning all the creatures of Treehouse Dam. Who do we have today? Not much going on, unfortunately. There is a couple of terrapins bobbing through the water. You might see the ripples. There's a little terrapin. They must be freezing in the cold water like this. And then I can only see one half of Mr. and Mrs. Blacksmith Lapwing, so I'm not sure which half it is, but just down in the distance you can just see the beautiful reflection. The water really is quite like glass, don't you think? Pecking at all the little insects. Isn't that lovely? Right, well let's not dwell too much around the dam. There's not anything that we're looking for this morning, so let's continue our search. Now I can't decide if I want to go on that southern road or if I want to jump on here and go towards Elephant Carcass back towards Weaver's Nest. What do you think, Craig? Top road or bottom road? Well, behind us or the road in front of us?
Let's go on top, I guess.
Not, you want to go on top. Let's go on top. So if we don't find a leopard, it's Craig's fault. Because I want to go the other road. No, I'm joking. Let's see what we've got as we go through here. We're still going to keep checking for tracks, but we know the general direction and that this leopard is going in. Now, Debbie, good morning to you. You were wondering how long does it take to learn all the roads. Well, Debbie, it depends on the person. To be quite frank, I often take a little bit longer, but that's because I don't concentrate when I'm driving and try and remember where I'm going. I just drive. But eventually I remember the roads. Like now I pretty much know all the roads on the areas we can traverse. Ali's still, of course, learning, and it's not fun trying to remember roads. You've got to concentrate on so many different things, and I always think, well, the last thing I'm really worried about is the name of the road. But actually learning the names of the roads are exceptionally important, because when you do need to call a sighting in, you have to give, of course, points as to where you are. You use direction, you know, and you use if the animal is moving in what particular direction. Of course, if you don't know the roads, you can't explain to anybody where they are. But there are no signboards, so you have to remember the road names in your heads. We use landmarks, you know, maybe there's a big jackalberry growing out of termite mound that's quite a distinctive feature on a road, or even a big marula tree that the elephants had once pushed over. You can use things like that, and to help navigate yourself around, and those types of landmarks become quite familiar. So if you do find yourself lost, you'll find something like that and go, aha, I remember where I am, type of thing. But I think the most important thing is when you arrive in a new area is to establish where north, south, east and west is, because if you know where those 4 points are, you can navigate anywhere. And it's very important. Navigation is actually a huge process of a guide's training, learning various techniques on how to navigate, not just with the sun, of course, but certain plants grow on certain sides of trees, or certain birds make their nests on certain sides of trees. Mongoose normally defecate on the eastern side of the mound, because that's where they spend most of their day. So that's sort of how it goes when you're out driving around. But Craig and I have to do on some more leopard tracks. So we go across to the alley, and well, it seems like
I can't really say. Learning the roads and finding leopards, or well, trying to find leopards because I haven't found anything yet. I just want to have a quick look at the tracks around here because we are not far from the area where Shadow's tracks were last seen last night, and we've picked up some of the tracks heading into the drainage direction. So I wonder if maybe she doesn't actually do have the cub and she's somewhere in here, because this would be a perfect place where to hide her cub if the cub were with her. Like I said, if you are just new into Safari Live and you wonder what Shadow is one of the resident dominant leopards around the area, and she's a female and she's got a cub, or at least she had a cub, but we haven't seen them for a while. So I just want to quickly check the tracks just to make sure that she carried on walking this way. Yes, there we go. And we're just gonna carry on seeing if maybe she's around today and would like to say hello. Wouldn't that be amazing, just to keep up with her and say hello again? I would certainly like it. Just also because it would be very, very nice just to find out if she's still with the cub or not. So we're gonna carry on. Got a francolin here that's making quite a bit of noise. I don't know if it's upset with us or at anything else. I think it's probably us that he doesn't like, because now that we're leaving, he's, you know, shutting up. What an unfriendly bird. That's why nobody likes you, francolin. You're too rude. Alrighty. But interesting to see what the leopard dynamics have been. I mean, we had Tamba yesterday in an area where we haven't seen him before. And then we've got Shadow pushing in, I believe. Tandy was also around. Just want to check some of these tracks quickly. And then if I manage to find one that's nice enough, I'll show it to you guys, because the soil is getting quite sandy. So it'll be easier to spot. Well, she's definitely been walking up this way. So maybe she did get the memo that we were all going to stick to higher ground where it's nice and warm. I wonder. There's also lots of hyena tracks around here. The hyena den is not too far. So I wonder if maybe the two of them met at any point last night. Because like I said, we had her tracks last night going in a different direction. Yesterday they were coming from in front of us to here, and then today from the back to here. So I wonder. Normally when you go out tracking and you see pretty sandy soil like the one in front of us, that's the real deal, because then it's a lot easier to try and follow the tracks. But for now I'm just seeing a lot of hyena tracks and no leopard tracks. There's another leopard track. I'm gonna try and show you guys. I think maybe this one is the clearer one. Just probably at this time of the year, now that Taylor has been showing you guys the tracks for a young male leopard, or what she believes to be a young male leopard that she's tracking, sometimes the track difference is not too much from the one of a female leopard. Oh, I lost the track now. Where did I see it? There we go. So if you see over here, we've got the track. That's just about maybe this big. So compared to my finger, it's just bigger than my finger. So a female leopard tracks, and this is a fully grown female, would have a track size that's pretty much or just slightly bigger than the one of a young male leopard. I think our boy Tamba is slightly still too young to have a track that is this big, but it's, you know, he's getting to that age where you can easily confuse a female leopard with a young male, and you know, you don't really know what you're gonna get. As a matter of fact, yesterday on the radio when we were looking at his tracks, everyone was talking about a young female, and then it turned out to be Tamba, which none of us expected to be there. But if you see here, we've got easy way of distinguishing is the 3 lobes I'm sure Taylor told you about, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 toes, and she's heading in that direction. We've got lots of hyena tracks going there. So we're just gonna carry on trying, see if perhaps we bump into anything. I have hope. I hope you guys do too. Otherwise, I might start crying. Because you can't live life without hope. And there's definitely a lot of hoping involved when it comes to tracking leopards. See, I'm sure she's somewhere around here, and she's been seeing us since yesterday. We had an occasion once where we were looking at leopard cubs playing. So we were, you know, it was a bit of a uneven ground, and the leopard cubs were playing on the branches, and then they were going up and down, but the road was sitting higher up, and I could see all the game drive vehicles from the other rangers that wanted to come and respond to the sighting. And this was the cubs, I believe, yeah, they were Outcrub's cubs and Bulla's mom's cubs. I think it was her last litter before she disappeared. So the road sits here, and we were sitting here in the drainage, and then we were looking at them playing, but it was fairly open, and because the grass was long, everybody was driving up and down trying to find us, and they couldn't. So I had to be like, no, stop, look to your left, see my hand waving, come down, and then they would see us. So I'm sure that's exactly what happens every day. You know, all those paintings and pictures of leopards sitting and looking at you and, you know, laughing, and it's like, oh, there goes human number 59 for the day. I am sure that that is exactly what they do. I think sometimes they're way more clever than us. Let's see here. Chris, Shadow had a cub, and we wonder if she still got it, because yesterday we saw her moving around this area. Tingana, another male leopard, was around here, so we don't know if maybe she was looking for Tingana to mate with. Maybe she's come into the area because she's got a cub and she's hiding it somewhere. So we're playing with quite a range of possibilities. I don't know when is the last time that the cub was seen, but I believe it wasn't too recent. And Shadow's track record with cubs, I believe, is not the greatest. So we'll just have to carry on and see how this all plays out. Just want to see here, lots of tracks around here, so I wonder, because she was heading, we are pretty much in the entrance of the hyena den, so I wonder if maybe she came there. We cannot go into the hyena den, unfortunately, for the moment, because there are other guys that are busy trying to see if maybe the cub will come out. But as far as I know, it's still inside. I'm sure it's probably a bit warm. Let me just wanna see, are these hyena tracks on the side there, Sim?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll go around back to that other junction and see if maybe we can find some tracks there. So as you can see, tracking leopard is always quite an interesting event, because the easier way to, or at least for us humans, to find them, and I wish I had the ability of some of the great trackers that I have met, that also, because they know the area so well and because they know the animals so well, they know where to go to find them, and they'll be like, oh, you know, I know this leopard, her tracks are going this way, but I have a very strong feeling that she's just doing this. Let's go check here, and boom, there's the leopard over there. I don't think that will ever cease to amaze me, just how they have this connection to the wild that you can't really explain. I just hope one day I'll be so in tune with nature that I'll be like, oh, I believe she's going here. For now, while I get to know the roads and the area, that'll still be a bit of a tricky thing, but every day passes by and I learn a new road, and the important thing is that I always know how to find my way home. So if I ever get lost, at least that. Let's see. No tracks. Lots of civet tracks. It's funny to see in the mornings how many little creatures have been moving around. We've had porcupine tracks, civet tracks, very nice and pretty. Well, we had leopard, lots of hyena. I'm sure that's why they were so tired yesterday, the hyenas, because I mean, their tracks are all over the place. Can't see quite here. We're gonna carry on looking for this particular leopard around this area, but in the meantime, let's go over to Taylor and see how her leopard search is going.
Well, we're trying our best at the moment. We're on Garu Main. We're just on the eastern side of the Mulwati, going very, very slowly, because last night I was mentioning to you on the Sunset Safari about how we saw leopard tracks. We had tumbas tracks, we saw them on the ground, and they were going obviously back towards the drainage system, so going west. Now we had some tracks moving away from the drainage line, and they're just very, very faintly going along the road that we're driving on now. So I'm going to go as slow as I can and see if I can't figure out where they turn off. And I just want to check around here, because I know this is prime Tundi territory, all along this big massive drainage line that runs all the way back to the Mulwanini in the Mulwati, and then of course in the Mulwanini too. So we just need to be very, very, we need to check very, very carefully. And he could just be sitting up here somewhere. Now, again, we're not sure exactly whose tracks those are. Those female tracks are back there. I haven't picked up any more coming this side. You see here his tracks. Let me see if I can try and show you nicely, but very quickly, because we're on the main road and it becomes quite difficult when there are lots of other cars. I'm just going to jump off. Now, they're from last night, so it could have been any time last night. But if you just look here, you can see there's a whole lot of young male leopard tracks going up the road. I wonder if he's not going towards that little path and maybe back into Chitwa. So I think we'll keep following them while we've got them, and then hopefully from there we will be able to find him. But we've just got to go very slowly. And I'm checking very carefully to make sure and see if there are any female leopard tracks coming across here, which there are exactly. Young, well, not young, but female leopard tracks. Now I have to jump out again because I want to show you. Okay, that's interesting. I'm just going to quickly mark these. Oh, don't stand on them, Taylor. Where are they now? Did I just squash them? Don't tell me I've done that. I could barely see them. They're so faint. Now I can't remember where they are. I think I have actually just stood on them. That was disappointing. Of all the things I could have done, hey Craig, now I'm staring at the ground, trying to actually find them. Anyways, they were here somewhere, and I think I may have accidentally stood on them. But they come across here and they cut. Oh, here they are. Here's one. Whew. I thought I wasn't going to be able to redeem myself. Draw a line in the road. But here's a female leopard track going that way. You can't see it. There's a car in the way. Okay, well, you just have to track me then. But there's female leopard tracks going off that way. And they're about exactly the same size of the footprints that we saw a little bit earlier. Silly car. Okay, but there are tracks. I can't believe it. Almost basically walked over them. Right. Now, Jeffrey from Texas, you're wondering if Tundi has left her territory, will it be difficult to protect her own territory? Most certainly. I don't think she's left it. I think she's extending into areas that she wasn't able to move around in. Oh, expanded. Sorry, not left. Expanded her territory. It does. Obviously, the wider space you've got, the more difficult it becomes to be able to protect your territory. I'm just going to check these tracks again here. So most certainly, this is Tumba again. He's still walking along the road. We will just check all the way up here. But it does bring about for new opportunities. There's areas now that she may have not explored. Maybe she explored when she was younger, but not exploring now since Karula had that territory. There could also be more food available here. Remember, Karula being the dominant leopardess in this area, or one of the more dominant ones. She just sort everybody out every now and then. It's quite a good spot. She's got lots of watering holes. She's got quite a bit of impala, all the different types of antelope. I'm sorry, I'm trying to concentrate heavily. Tumba's tracks are still going along here. I couldn't get obviously go into that drainage line. I'll have to go and walk to see where those female leopard tracks are, but we'll just keep following them here. We'll keep scanning too. So yes, it's a tricky one, but I'm sure she's going to be comfortable here. He has gone back into Chitwa too. His tracks are going along here, and then there's a massive animal pathway which you can just see here next to me. And these tracks go up there with the hippo tracks, and off they go straight towards that little pan. Let me go into a different radio channel. Channel 2. No, just channel 2. Let me turn this up and me try and get hold of the guards. I can hear them talking. Oh, hang on. I think there is something going on here. There's guards chatting on the radio, so I'll have to try and get hold of them. Excuse me, I've got a little tickle in my throat today. Just trying to wait for a gap so I can chat to these guys, find out exactly what all the commotion is on the radio. Good morning, stations. Can any Chitwa vehicles copy me? Let's see if somebody is going to be able to hear me, because I think that there could be a leopard around here. Tumba's tracks come right through here, probably past this pan. So I'm going to poke my nose a little bit further forward and see if I can't scan and see some cars. Maybe that's what all this commotion is about. Good morning, stations. It's Taylor from Wild Earth. Can any Chitwa vehicles copy me? It's always quite difficult to try and find a spot that's got relatively good signal so that we can, of course, communicate with everybody. So we just have to keep trying until somebody says, yes, we can hear you. That's the idea. Or we just find the leopard first. That's the other choice. That's my preferred choice, is just to find the leopard. Just check here. No, it doesn't look like any that start from what I can see. The animal pathway. It's a well-used one. Right. There's lots and lots and lots of impala tracks around here. I haven't seen any leopard tracks coming out here just yet. I think they're still behind us. So we have to try and have to go to my sneaky secret spot where I can get signal and then chat to the guides and find out. But I think I've got a good feeling. Hopefully we'll get something. Now, Ellie's just managed to get back to her car, so she must have been looking at tracks. Let's go and find out which tracks she was looking at.
Well, we're looking at every single track but leopard tracks. No, I think she's come up this way, or I just want to check where we last had her tracks yesterday, or where Taylor last had them. See if maybe she decided to go back the way she came from. It wouldn't be unusual for a leopard to do something like that. But it seems like some people have driven on the road and I can't see the tracks too clearly. And I can definitely not see any tracks coming around here. So worst case scenario, we'll turn around and go back where we came from. See if perhaps we can pick anything up on the other side. And also, while you're walking, it's sometimes easier just to, like yesterday, you know, we picked up the sound while we were sitting at the hyena den of a leopard calling, and sometimes we may not find it, but at least we know they're around, which sometimes it says a lot. I think we are very spoiled over here in the Sabi-san in terms of leopard populations and everything that we see, because when we went to Zimbabwe recently, I was actually amazed at the fact that we didn't even hear leopards. Like, I think in maybe 10 days we heard them once and that was it. So it's also like either they're particularly shy and they stay quite away from humans, or there really aren't any leopards around. Lots of tiny tracks around here, I wonder. But no tiny leopard tracks here. Let's see. I wonder. It is starting to warm up quite nicely, and the fact that we're not driving, I think Seb is quite happy, because we've just been, you know, sitting in the sun like chickens, like little birds when you fluff up and you move your tail like this and you start warming up. Just want to check if maybe this is a... It is a leopard lug, of course it is. It very much looked like a head, but it is not. Like I say, I have a feeling that we're being watched. Crispin, sometimes they do. If it's very, very cold, you'll see that animals will only start going into drainage lines once it starts warming up. Because as you know, cold air sinks. So obviously it's going to be a lot cooler further down they go, and a lot of the animals, well, they don't really want to be cold. They have to try and maintain certain temperatures so that they don't freeze like what we do. So a lot of the times they'll stay up on the tops of drainage lines just to see, or just to keep warmer. However, having said that, I wouldn't be surprised if Shadow was on a tree in a drainage line just away from everyone, because that would be the perfect combination. It's cold at the bottom, not too many things are going to come around, but she's higher up where the air is slightly warmer. But there are no indications of her staying in the drainage line, which is always a good thing, because then we know she's definitely come out. But I just think that this is not the direction she came from. I just want to check, because a lot of the times they swap around, and a good indication that they're not here are these beautiful boys that are looking at us, because if she were here, I don't think we would be able to see them. Well, hello. They're looking quite peaceful. So you see, a lot of the times when you go looking for things, just keeping an eye on the environment is a good thing. I mean, this impala are fairly relaxed unless she's stalking them and they've got no idea that she's here. I think it's a good call that maybe she did go the other way. Unfortunately, I couldn't see any more tracks, and it seems like there's been a few cars going up and down. But and these guys are also not too far from the hyena den. Like I said, it's always amazing to see just how in close proximity they live to one another. They're here peacefully getting their day started. You see their hair is fluffed up, just trying to keep warm. It's almost like they wear their own jersey. So what we're looking at now, why they're looking so fluffy, I believe is the perfect technical term for this. It's because they raise their hair up. So as the body produces heat, that heat gets again trapped by the little hairs. It's almost like having a double jersey, and this process is called piloerection, and it's just a good way that to keep warm, that the animals use to keep warm, not like us that we have to put on so many layers. These guys are actually looking very, very healthy still. You can see that it's just the beginning of winter, because they're all looking, you know, very strong, very beautiful. The coat is shining. Rut is finished. There's no aggression in between all these older boys. If we were back in the rutting season, which finished just maybe a few weeks, a week ago, a few days ago, they would not be together, because it's just competition. So I'm sure what we're seeing now, it's all of the boys that have been kicked out by another male if they were holding a particular harem of females. So, I don't know how to say it, but I think we're looking at pretty much the losers. Sorry, boys, I mean no offense, other than a technicality about it. But I think, yeah, these guys all got kicked out by other males that managed to steal their girls away. And now for the rest of the year, they are, well, for the rest of the season, they're going to be together. Because, like we know, there's safety in numbers, so it's a lot easier to see any potential predator coming around if they all stick together. Very nice. Let's see. Alright. Thank you for letting us know what's happening around here. We appreciate it, but let's carry on. Let's see. I have hope. If not, we'll just get to the junction and drive back around. Any tracks? Shadow, hello. Definitely not around here. What was that? No. Definitely not. Alright, I'm gonna do a bit of a loop around here, go back the way we came, see if maybe there was not something that we missed, see if maybe we can pick up some new tracks further along the road. If not, it might be a bit tricky to try and find her. Chuck, yes. Well, like we saw this morning, it took a few minutes. I mean, maybe we should time it next time, and then we'll get an idea of how quickly the sun comes up. Maybe that could be our next project. But it is amazing, because you see it coming up, and then as soon as you see the top of the sun, then boop, it's almost like, you know, it's done, it's out. Like, good morning everyone, wake up. So you can see now that if I turn around, I'm a bit blinded by the sun. It's definitely getting very high very quickly. So it's good because we would like to warm up, but it also happens on the reverse when we are just admiring the sunset. As it starts going down, and pretty much as soon as it hits the horizon line, then it's almost like it sinks. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, I've been shining the whole day, and then it goes back down. I think that is one of my favorite things about the sun, other than, you know, giving us life and keeping us alive and all of those things. But it's just how funny it is, because it's almost like it's, you know, once it decides to get up, it's just like, okay, I'm ready. And once it's gone, then it's gone. It doesn't really take all that long for it to just say goodbye. Whew. There is still like quite a cold breeze that I'm sure it's making everything still a bit wary. Huh. We have something that's been walking behind us. Ah! David, welcome! You're 7 years old and you're watching us today. You'd like to know how I became a safari live guide. Well, I was a guide before I arrived here. Sorry, there was a warthog running around here, but I think he's definitely left us. So I was a guide before I arrived here, and I had been working in different lodges for quite a bit of time, and I really enjoyed what I was doing. And then I heard about this fantastic opportunity at Safari Live, and what really appealed to me, and I think it's what appealed to a lot of people, is the fact that you have to learn so much. So you can spend a lot of time with smaller things like the insects and the plants and everything else. And it just seemed like something cool that I wanted to try out. So I came for an interview. I think it was almost a year ago, maybe 9 months ago or something along those lines. And then eventually I got here. So if you ever want to become a safari guide, you can let me know and I will help you. Because it's a very cool job. I really like it, and I don't think I want to change jobs. I think my family is still a bit like, huh, so my daughter is a safari guide. I don't know how they feel about it, but life, let me tell you, will take you in some very unexpected journeys. You just gotta enjoy them. So if you like animals, there are many things that you can do, but if you want to come and do a course to become a safari guide, there are plenty that do them. But I think you just have to wait until maybe you're about 21. So just a few more years, and then you'll be able to do it. Who knows? Let's see, no trucks around here. Melissa, you say this is a little bit of heaven. Well, I agree with you, or maybe a lot. Depends on how big your area is, but it is. I like it because, funny enough, I had some guests recently and we were just discussing about Africa and the wildlife and coming on safari, and there's something that you cannot describe while you're here, so we really try our best. But sometimes when you're here, it's, you know, it's when you go on drive for too many hours, you start thinking about many things, or you start almost like putting life into perspective, and you realize that some things are really not necessary. And then, you know, it's almost like a feeling. I don't know how to describe it, that makes you feel like you're at home, like you're at peace. And I think I was reading a few years ago, there's a theory, well, I'm sure, you know, it gets disproved every few years or so whenever we find something new, or, you know, but that all humans actually come from Africa, and that's why when we come to Africa, we finally feel like we've gotten back home. And I heard that and I was like, yes, I like it. Because I definitely feel like I've hit the jackpot and I am in a fantastic home. So hopefully one day you'll be able to come and just experience it all for yourself if you haven't managed to do so. And if you do one day, just remember, it's just a feeling. I don't know how else to describe it. Let's see around here. Lots of little things around here. Had some baboon tracks. I wanna go check his. Maybe these are some of the tracks that Taylor had further down the road, so it wouldn't surprise me for her to do such a big loop and then come all the way back. Lots of hyena tracks here as well, and tiny hyenas have been moving during the night. If anyone was interested, I think we've got adult tracks and then, well, smaller tracks. But they're a bit broken down, so I'm not able to show you guys. Right, we are going to carry on looking for tracks, see if maybe we can find anything. But in the meantime, let's go to Taylor and see what stories she's got for us.
Well, we're all the way on Chitwa now, and this area may look familiar to some of you because we are on the airstrip chasing guinea fowl. That's what we're going to do this morning. So I'm going to try and find you some guinea fowl that are nicely golden lit. Let's have a look at these ones. Guinea fowl, please can you come and stand in the sun? Craig, what's going on with that guinea fowl over there? It's a weird looking one. It doesn't look like it's got any blue on it. Is it maybe a little one? Look at that. Maybe it's a youngster, because both male and female guinea fowl have got the sort of beautiful blue coloration to their entire bodies. Maybe you're a female. Maybe you're a... Where are all them? Where is everyone? Everybody come out of the bushes, please. Oh, there's some more that are coming out here into the light. Now they're feeding frantically at the moment. You can just see their heads just to the right of a little bit. There we go. You've got them now in the center of screen, moving through all this lovely long grass. And it's not uncommon to find guinea fowl out in the open when you are a ground-dwelling bird like this, and not the most intelligent one, unfortunately. You wouldn't want to be hiding away in thick vegetation. But also, the food that they're looking for is out here in the open. Are you hungry? Not making too much noise either. Normally, they're contenders with the most annoying bird in South Africa with the hardy-dars. But they seem to be behaving this morning, which is quite nice. Should we see if we can get a whole group of them together? Well, they're all running away. Don't run away. Let's go up. Excuse me. My goodness. And I'm sure that's the first of many sneezes this morning. As we come into winter with all the dust, I have horrific dust allergies. So many antihistamines will be eaten over the course of the next 3 months. So the reason why we're actually up this side is we had Tumba's tracks coming into the property. Again, run, 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 run. Or hop, 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 hop. Some of you. Anyways, so they go towards the dam, but I haven't been able to get hold of any of the Chitwa guards to find out if there's still guests in camp. So I don't want to go barging through the front of the lodge and get myself into a little bit of trouble. But these tracks do go down that way, so we're just going to check the outskirts and see if they come back around the side. But nothing just yet. There's some monkeys. Where are you going, monkeys? Vervet monkeys running across the airstrip. Are they going into... Oh, they're in the marula tree. We can have a look at them. Hello. They're all scattered. They're actually up quite early. There we go. You can just see just over there. There's a whole lot of them sitting in those 2 big marula trees. Now, there's one just on the left of that branch. There we go. But they keep running to the tops of the trees, to the leaves, which makes it quite difficult for us to, of course, see them. But I think once they settle down, maybe they'll come out and play. But again, everything is doing the same thing. First thing in the morning is warming up in the lovely warm sun. Isn't that nice, with the sun on the vervet monkey's back? Beautiful. Oh, there's another little one coming out to say hello. And then you can see, as you spot one, you start to see a whole lot of them move. There's about 5 of them that are running around there now. Hello, your whole family's here. And I'm sure they're going to be a bit sad now at this time of the year because they're not going to be, well, feeding on much fruit just yet. It's still coming. Craig, where you are, you see that there's a little bird that's just landed in the tree. Oh, no, it's just gone off. I think there's white. That's okay. I think there's white-crested helmet shrikes also fluttering around the vervet monkeys, but we'll see if we can spot any of them when they settle down. But there they are, sitting on the branches, and it'll be lovely where they are now. They've positioned themselves up nice and high, and of course warm air rises, so they'll not just be getting the warmth from the sun. You see there, I'm sure that was a helmet shrike that just tried to bop that monkey on the head, that just flew through screen, because it's making a very helmet shrike call, that sort of No, that sounds like more like an oxpecker. That's not the look that I was going for. Megan, are you still there? Just checking. Everyone's being very quiet in Vinyl Control today. I was just wondering, again, if they hadn't fallen asleep on me, perhaps gone for a little coffee break, they decided to just let me sit chat. Yes, scratch, scratch, scratch. Now, grooming is such an important part when it comes to all the various animals out here. They have to try and keep themselves as clean as possible. So even though they are scratching, you might think, oh, mange, or perhaps an infestation of parasites. No, it's good that they are scratching like that to try and get rid of all those parasites, and they'll eat them too. Oh. Now, Nancy, hello Nancy. Do you know that my car's name is Nancy? Just some random trivia for you. You're wondering, what do these monkeys eat if there's no fruit around? And then they'll start to eat grass, they'll eat the shoots, they'll eat the seeds, they'll even pull out the roots and eat the roots. All the lovely new sprigs of leaves that were coming through, they will feast upon those. But now the tables are turning slightly because, of course, the vegetation is changing. So any flowers that are around as well that are not poisonous, well, it depends. Poisonous to us versus poisonous to a monkey is completely different, just because of our digestive systems being slightly different, and they're able to tolerate a lot more than what we can. So they'll eat a number of different things. But remember, the jackalberries and the guarri trees are going to start bearing their fruits now, so they will have another bash at eating some fruit before they really go into the hard times. Gum, so if there's any gum on the sides of trees coming out of the bark, they will eat it too. Now, Manic Pixie, you've said that monkeys are your favorite. They are not my favorite, if I have to be completely honest with all of you. I keep having raiding experiences of monkeys that are so clever, they outsmart me all the time. And then they come in and completely trash my rooms, which is a little bit ridiculous. And I don't enjoy cleaning up all the toothpaste and the conditioner and shampoo and everything else that they've squirted all over my entire room, all over my linen, all over my floor. So they're not my favorite, but they are funny to indeed watch when they're out here doing normal monkey things, and not when they come into the houses and act like humans. Then that's not fun at all, of course. Where have you gone? There's still a couple. You can just see a tail here and there every now and then, but I think they're going to come down again and carry on foraging. Hello, little one. You are very itchy. Now, Geeky, you're wondering if the vervet monkeys will actually groom each other. Most certainly, allo-grooming is a very important sort of technique that animals will use to strengthen the bond between various members, and in this case of a troop. So yes, they do indeed. And normally it's first thing in the morning that you'll actually see them sort of just resting in the sun and almost going into a trance-like state, and they will form a little train and they will groom themselves. The baboons do exactly the same thing too. But that little one that was on the left, that seems to be quite itchy. Maybe it's got some fleas or something like that, and has been too worried about playing and having lots of fun. And Mom hasn't had an opportunity to give it a good groom yet. What are you looking for? Do you see that? Just checking their little holes as well. They will eat insects too. Look how flexible they are too. Now, JW, great question from you this morning. It was, do they fight like baboons? Yes. So what you will see is, obviously it's more impressive to see baboons fighting because they're much larger in size. But when vervet monkeys do fight, they'll often first stand on branches, show their teeth, expose their canines, and sort of jump around, push down on the branches, making quite a bit of noise, again showing their teeth, sort of a threat display. But they'll chase each other off. No animals like conflict, because when you engage in a battle, the chances of you getting injured and then dying because of that injury, or actually just being killed off in that fight, there's definite possibility. So they need to be as careful as they can. So normally it's a lot of shouting. They'll be, calling about and like I say, rustling the leaves, trying to make themselves look big and scary, and then they hope that's enough to chase the others away. But again, they don't fight as well as the baboons fight. It's not as intimidating. That bark from a baboon is quite something. Let's go a little bit closer. Megan, please can I have that question again? Don't run away! Come back, little one! Where did you go? Let's see if we can find another one. Oh, there we go. Now, Alyssa, you were saying then, if all the things that I've said are true, does that mean that monkeys are aggressive? Yes, they are. You can ask my younger brother how aggressive vervet monkeys are, because he's been chased by a big male before at home. We're coming back from school and he was holding his lunchbox in his hand. And we didn't feed any of the animals there, but as monkeys do, they become quite sort of habituated around people and human habitation. And the curiosity gets the better of them, and they come in and they raid bins, or if you've left a window open. So then they do sort of get food, but they've come in and have stolen it themselves. So what happened was, we were walking back home, and all the vervet monkeys were on the roof and in the trees, and we were bringing groceries and things in, but my brother had his lunchbox in his hand, and he shouted at this monkey. He was quite young though, he must have only been about 10 or so. And this monkey just decided, I'm going to see if I can intimidate you. And he did the whole thing. We opened his peeled his lips back, exposed his teeth, and then started sort of shouting at my brother. And then ran towards him and grabbed the lunchbox straight out of his hand. My brother ran for his life, as you can imagine. And it's quite an intimidating thing. So vervet monkeys and baboons, be very careful of them. They do carry an abundance of diseases too. You do not want to get bitten by one of these characters. Not just from the food that they feed on. Yes, they will rummage through your refuse and collect all the delicious things. Well, delicious things to them, they might not be so delicious to us. So they will have some form of harmful bacteria in their mouth. Like I said, you don't want to be bitten by that. Now, I'm not sure what this little one is eating. Maybe it has peeled away at some bark and it's chewing on a piece of gum or something along those lines. What you got? But it's not looking very hard. It's just sort of sitting on the branch. You can see looking over its shoulder, spotting all sorts of things. One thing I haven't seen vervet monkeys doing that baboons do is obviously feasting on small mammals. So, as you know, baboons will every now and then snatch up impala lambs in the lambing season, and I've seen them eating daycare. I've seen them eating a whole group of different mammals, but I have not seen a vervet monkey doing such things. Ali is still looking for her leopard, but it seems as though she's arrived at Twin Dams.
We have arrived at Twin Dams, and we couldn't help but giggling when we saw these two water thickneys all puffed up, because they're still very, very, very cold. So look at them, they're quite funny little birds, aren't they? We, however, in the time that we've been sitting here, there's a squirrel that hasn't stopped making an alarm call. So we just want to quickly go and check, see if maybe we can find the squirrel, because a lot of the tracks of the leopards were heading in this particular direction, and we had Tamba around here yesterday. So we're gonna quickly go and check, see if maybe we can spot the squirrel, and hopefully the squirrel has spotted something else that we want to see, that has got spots. But we'll see. Sometimes the squirrels, though, I would say we rely more on monkey alarm calls to find potential predators, because squirrels have a very wide range of potential predators. So they'll alarm at anything from a snake to a human to an eagle. But you know, sometimes they are quite helpful. I just don't know where it is, and we'll be able to see it. So if you guys manage to see anything on the screen before we do, then just let us know, because sometimes it's just looking at the right place at the right time. Let's see, where are you, alarming little squirrel? Well, there's one here right in front of us, and it doesn't seem too bothered. Right in front here on the tree. I think the other one's further along the road. So you see, so this particular pretty little squirrel, she's got nothing to say. This is a tree squirrel. Oh, isn't it pretty? Although it looks like a bit of a mouse. See, we can't see the tail. But let me carry on. I think this little one will carry on sunning itself while we carry on looking. What are these tracks here? Can't really tell. Let's see. Are you on the tree, little squirrel? Getting quite desperate. It's almost like somebody's laughing, like. Where are you now? I think maybe further ahead. Where did you go? Maybe the squirrel just wanted to be on live TV and that's why it started drawing us in there. But now we can't find it. It's gone shy. So I wonder, the grass is still long enough for any leopard to be hiding around here. While we carry on trying to find the squirrel that's being naughty and hiding away from all of us, let's go over to Brent, all the way from the Mara, and he's got a very beautiful looking creature for all of us.
Welcome to Kenya. Sorry, we've been gone for so long. We had some tech difficulties with our comms yesterday, and we have done probably about 100 kilometers already this morning to get to an area we've never been to before, and it is absolutely incredible. There's a blackback jackal walking down the road, but I've got some news, and it's quite big news. And of course I forgot, my name is Brent, Leo Smith. I've got Dangerous Dave Easter on camera, and there's a herd or a group of about 15 to 20,000 wildebeest that never leave the sort of Mara area, and all of a sudden they're rolling in from the conservancies into the main reserve now. We saw a herd of probably 700 or 800 earlier, but unfortunately we didn't have signal there. But we've got up on top of the hill, and you can see there's a town in the background. That is the town of Talek. And these wildebeest are just rolling in. So this isn't the main migration yet. This is the local migration from the conservancies and from the hills outside of the Mara National Reserve into the reserve itself. And we can see there's some giraffe as well. And everywhere you go in the Mara, there seems to be a sleeping hyena. Or two, in this case. Anyhow, we are right at the top end of the Talek Valley, and we're actually heading towards, well, we thought we were going to get there a bit earlier, towards the Sand River, but we didn't. And that was because there was a river crossing on the Talek that I took one look at, well, actually took multiple looks at, walked through it a few times, ummed and ahed for a good probably 10 minutes. And eventually decided that, you know what, it's a very long way for anyone to come rescue us, and discretion is the better part of valor. As much as I really wanted to try across that river crossing, sense prevailed, as in Jamie and Dave, and we had to go the long way around. But it was quite an adventure. We got to see the little town of Talek, which was quite cool. I haven't been there before, and we gave one of the park rangers a lift on his way on to leave, so it worked out. Look, this is just a small herd of wildebeest. They keep coming. So they're moving into the area from outside of the National Reserve, from the conservancies. Side striped jackal, he's sleeping way up ahead on the side. I'll get a bit closer for you, Dave. I'll go a bit closer. One side striped jackal in the whole time I've been here, and it was a very fleeting glimpse, and it looked a bit shell shocked, and that's probably because of the amount of blackbacks and side stripes there are around. Blackbacks and hyenas and lions there are around. And also you must remember that the side striped is more of an insectivore and a fruitarian, and they eat a lot more sort of fruits and insects than they do carrion. Where did he go? I thought he was sleeping just up here. Has he done a disappearing act on us? Oh dear. How do you lose a jackal in a vast open plain? Ask Brent, Dave. They've managed to do it. Take your eye off him for a second. Okay, well, we're going to keep moving from here. We're going to see what else we can find. Quite exciting to be in a new area, and while we do that, it seems like Ali is in search for a leopard.
Well, that little squirrel must be friends with Brent's little jackal, because they both ran away, couldn't find them again. So we have decided to do one last trip all around Treehouse Dam and see if maybe Shadow, or any other leopard for that matter, is in between those two dams. It seems to be a popular area amongst all of them. The tracks definitely do go up and down, and you know, who knows, maybe now as it gets warmer. I mean, Shadow was seen yesterday very late in the morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if she decided to do this again, and so we just hope that we're gonna be the ones to be there when she does decide to pop up. But if not, this is also a good area as any to start looking for anything. What was that? No. Elissa, you're wondering how we can identify male leopard tracks from female leopard tracks. I don't have any at the moment that I can use to compare, but a good thing is normally just size. So if we were to look at the tracks between a male and a female, the male tracks are normally a lot bigger than the one of a female. So that's why some of the times you get confused between a young male leopard and a female, because the size is not that different. But I think it's just out of practice. The more you see them, then the more you start picking them up. I remember when I first started training, the difference between a male leopard track and a lioness, or a lion and a male lion and a female lion, it was impossible to me. I was just like, but they look the same, I don't understand. And then just out of force of habit and seeing them so much, then you start recognizing them. And then, you know, there are like then little tricks, like you see the space between the toes and the pad is a bit larger when you compare males and females. Sometimes the toes twist a little bit, or the lobes twist a little bit more. It's just little things like that that you can use to try and identify the different animals. Let's see. No, nothing around here. Go. Probably didn't choose the right road. We're gonna go around here, and let's go to Taylor, who, if I'm not mistaken, has got something about a tree.
We do have a little listen. These guinea fowls have just flown up here. They're alarming. Something's here in this grass. They flew from just where they're sitting, just a little bit further south, and they came racing out of the grass. There's lots of leopard tracks around here of a male leopard. I'm still convinced that it's Tamba that was walking here. I'm thinking we're gonna, let's go in. I think we're gonna take a little drive into this thicket here. I don't want to go in on foot because there's definitely something. For a guinea fowl to go from the ground up into a tree like that, there's something. That's given me enough motive to want to go in the car. There's another one coming to join them now too. So I want to drive over the sickle bush. Let's go and have a look. It's the same thing with the Franklins. They won't fly up into a tree unless there's something on the ground. But we can't see because this grass is so long as well. Guys, where's the leopard? Point him to me. Show me. I'll take him off your hands. I'll sit and watch him and make sure he doesn't eat any of you. Let's have a look in here. Now we've got to keep an eye out. So I apologize if I'm not going to concentrate too much on turning back. But I do want to make sure that I can see where I'm going. And I do want to find out what has startled these guinea fowl like this. Let's come through here. I'm sure there's something in here. So basically on the surrounding roads where we're driving now, there's just leopard tracks going up and down, up and down. Going back one way, then going straight over the top another way. So it's just making me feel like there's most certainly something here. And I have a very good feeling too, but now we just need to figure out where whatever that startled the guinea fowls, where has it gone? This is quite difficult because we sat there initially hoping that whatever it was going to walk straight towards us, but it didn't. Ooh. Now Tristate, you said that you've found the guinea fowl calls to be quite calming. It's yes, I suppose you could say calming. I love that sound of a guinea fowl alarming, because it just brings excitement, because you never know what you're going to see around the next corner. So I have to agree with you in some ways, but it doesn't make me calm. It just makes me more and more excited. I don't know, wherever this thing that had startled these guinea fowls, because they all flew up and into the tree very quickly. They panicked. It can't be too far. Let me just stop and have a little listen here, just to see if we can hear anything else. No, there isn't much. Okay, let's go back to a road. We're going to try and find a road, and then let's just do another quick circle around this area and see if we can pick up on something. Because I think we've done a pretty good look through here. We didn't see much at all. But it could be going completely the opposite way too. I think we're going to come out on the open area near the airstrip. We just need to find a way back towards the road, of course. We'll look here. Who's shouting that side now? I can hear some drongos chirping. Ah, here's a road. Now I'm going to have to do a bit of course, maneuvering around here, and hopefully we're going to find a cat for you of some sort. Let's go back across to Ali, who's also trying to find her own Prince of Spots.
Well, if I didn't know any better, I would assume that the jackal, the squirrel, and the guinea fowl are playing a prank on all of us, because they care, well, at least the guinea fowl and the squirrel, they start making alarm calls, so we get very excited, we try to see what they're looking at, and then they go quiet. And I'm sure they're just laughing at us, being like, hello humans, bye-bye. So we came all the way past Treehouse Dam, see if perhaps we could pick up anything else around here, but it seems like everyone's, you know, sleeping in. There's a lot of the trackers like to make the joke, and they say that because it's Sunday, everyone's at church, so that's why the animals are not around yet. So who knows? We'd love to hear your theories. If you have any idea as to why they've decided to take it easy on this Sunday, you're more than welcome to let us know. Let's see. Alright, let's see what's happening around here. Hello, pretty marula tree. Shelley, you'd like to know if the natural world is less active in winter. I don't think so. It's active at different times, let's put it that way. Hang on a second, what was that there? Maybe that's just another patch of grass. But I want to double check, because it looked very much like a patch of grass. No, you'll see it's a bit different, because the animals are very cold in the morning, so it takes them a bit longer to start getting active. Imagine yourself in a winter morning. Like, if it wasn't because we've got responsibilities like going to work and, you know, having to make food or coffee or whatever, you know, you would wake up and you go and stand in the sun for a little while, and then you go and make coffee, if you've got the option, that is, of course. So it takes a bit longer for everything to kick in, but then everything is so active throughout the day. The other day we had lions moving around the whole day, or throughout the day when we were not out on safari. But there's no easy way of predicting when they're gonna be mobile. I have seen all sorts of crazy things during the winter months, and that's why I prefer it. In summer, sometimes because it's so hot throughout the day, then they'll be active for shorter periods of time. So I've had it where sometimes by 7:30 in the morning, 7:30, lions have gone to sleep already, and then they don't wake up until 8 o'clock at night. So I just think, well, from a mammal perspective, it just time-wise everything shifts. But what is less active in the natural world? Obviously the insects, because it's a bit cold, and sometimes maybe the smaller creatures, and well, the plants are not in bloom, so we don't have as many flowers and, I would say, pretty ornaments on the trees like the fruits to look at. So I suppose it's what you prefer seeing sometimes, but big animal wise, they're just as active in winter as they are during the day, as they are during the summertime. Might just take them a bit longer to start moving around. I don't know if are we gonna make it through with the antenna here. I've got a bit of a tough spot with our marula tree. It seems like we're gonna have to dodge a few trees, and while we do so, let's go over to Taylor and see if she can make a guinea fowl call for us.
I'm not falling for that trick, Ali, unless you're going to do it. I've tried to do a guinea fowl call one too many times, and I feel as though I've embarrassed myself more than enough. Morning, hornbills. They're saying hello. I think they were singing the morning report. Were you? Were you singing the Lion King song? No? Okay. You can go again. We'd love to see it. They were doing a beautiful call where they sort of arch their wings out and flap them around. It's really, really quite nice. And then the sound that they make too is a lovely call. It's always a refreshing sound to hear the hornbills out in the bush. I'll actually never forget the first time that I heard a yellow-billed hornbill's call. I thought it sounded like frogs coming out of a bush. This was many, many years ago, of course. I've since learned then that they are not frogs. But just as the monkeys were warming themselves up, and it also looks like there's a crowned lapwing running around at the back too. Are you going to follow your mate off now? Is it a crowned lapwing? Yes, it is a crowned lapwing. There we go. We're seeing a couple of birds today. Oh, lovely. Opening your wing to clean it. Look how meticulous they are with those very long beaks. It always surprises me how they're able to use their beaks with such precision and groove each and every individual feather they have on their bodies. Now we've come around to do another loop again, just to quadruple check, and I'm going to do it twice more. I think I'm so convinced that there's something in here, the way that those guinea fowl were behaving, because we heard them alarm first and then it went quiet, nothing, and then they started going crazy again, and I actually put the car in reverse and then raced over backwards. Here's leopard tracks. Here's very fresh leopard tracks. No, hang on, he's here. He has to be here. I'm not going crazy. There's most certainly a leopard that's just playing games with us this morning. Impala, where is he? Point him out to me. This is outrageous. This leopard is just running circles around us. I'll show you his footprints now. We'll get them again. He's just come along this road. Let me find one. Leopard track, leopard track. Here's a leopard track. There's many leopard tracks. You just get them in the sun for you. Jump out quickly, just to prove to you that I'm not going bonkers, that I am actually chasing after animals. So it looks like he came here and he actually scent marked up against this tree because his track good. Let me show you this one. This is a nice clean track over here. Here, just over there. Not particularly large, but broad enough to be a male, but not a fully grown male. Not the size of Tingana's track. His tracks are slightly bigger than that. Now I want to see if he was marking up here, because he's walked and he's sort of turned and swished his tail end towards the tree, which is typically what they do. They'll spray urine up against shrubs, and that actually makes it more convincing to me that maybe this is Tumba, because if it was Tingana, we would see clear evidence of fresh urine sprayed up against these trees. I just want to check, and there's absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness, he might just be lying in the long grass. You saw how camouflaged that cat is. He's such a beautiful specimen. It was really nice to meet him last night for the first time. How cool is that? Now I have something else that I want to show you. Let me dig it out though. Turn on. Now, put it up here. Now Sharon, you've said that Tumba has got the most exotic eyes. He does indeed. He's beautiful. Now what you can see over here, this is from a Speaks Hinge tortoise. I actually picked it up yesterday and I wanted to chat about it, but unfortunately, no, actually, what nonsense. Not unfortunately. Fortunately, our drive was so exciting I didn't even need to bring it out, but I kept it in the car just thinking that I was going to need it. But now look what's special about it. If I turn it over, look at that. See, there's a big gaping hole in the shell. Now I have a question and a quiz for all of you. What do you think has eaten this tortoise? Who do you think has managed to get inside there? Hashtag Safari Live with all of your questions, with your answers as to what you think may have feasted upon this tortoise shell. And we'll put it back, and then once we get some answers, we can go through it again a little bit later. Right, let's do another loop, Craig. I'm not giving up just yet. I'm not being beaten by a young male leopard. I'm refusing today. I think if we do this loop enough, we should get him. So again, this is what I said, his tracks are just going up and down around here. I haven't seen any more sort of going down those roads. They just seem to be circling the area, doing exactly what we're doing. Maybe he's chasing us. Maybe I should go the other way around and then catch him if he thinks that he's worked out my route. I'm also just checking in the trees on the termite mounds. There are plenty of them here, especially in these Maruda trees. It would be a nice spot for him to perch himself up. Now, because I don't know too much about Tumba, I don't know his personality at all. But from what I saw yesterday, he's very sweet, and he loves the camera. But I don't know if he likes to climb trees that much. I know Shongile and Hosana love to climb trees. Well, Shongile is beautiful and graceful in a tree. Hosana, well, graceful is a strong word to describe how he moves around in one of those. Okay, so we've already got some guesses. Very, very quick response. I'm going to just stop just out in the light again. There's a nice patch of warm sun here, so we can pretend we're lizards. And now I believe that there are many of you, come here, who have suggested that it is Shongile that has eaten this tortoise. Now I'm going to disagree with you, and I'll tell you why I disagree with all of you. Is because I don't think it was a cat at all. I don't even think it was a hyena. I think that something else did this. Are there any other guesses? Okay. Yes, Carrie, you and I are on the same page this morning. You've said that you think a southern ground hornbill has done this. That's exactly who I think has created this hole. And the reason why is because look how clean it is. So I can't see any sort of teeth mark around the outside, where if it was a hyena or if it was a leopard, you most certainly would see a whole lot of scratches and a lot more damage around the site that has been opened up. So I think a hornbill has used its very, very powerful bill. We got to have a look at them yesterday. Of course, we did get some nice close-ups too, and I think it has smashed a couple of times into the shell and chipped away at it. And if you look inside, you can actually still see there's still, it might be a little bit difficult, there's actually still a little bit of the tortoise, well, I suppose all its little bits left there, veins and things. So I don't know how long ago it was. Maybe not too long ago. Maybe about a week ago. Otherwise, what can also happen, something like this, but I do think it's the southern ground hornbill, is that the larger eagles and crows and things like that will actually take a small tortoise all the way up with them to the tops of the sky, and then they will drop it and hope that it smashes down onto the ground. But I think that you would get more of a shattered sort of look on the shell, whereas this looks like it's perfect. They were going just for this corner. They knew exactly what they wanted and the best way to get it out. And southern ground hornbills are really good at problem solving and trying to get into all sorts of things. But I think we shall keep it for a little bit longer. Well, let's carry on again for our dear leopard. No, I'm not going anywhere. Come on, Wendy, out of 4x4 gear. Okay, let's go back around. And if we don't get lucky here, because I might have to admit defeat at some point, because maybe we'll go and have a look at Chitwa Dam. But I'm still waiting for confirmation to find out if there are any guests in the lodge. I don't want to go and disturb them. Can you imagine having a morning off and you just want to sleep in and enjoy the sounds in the bush, and then you hear the sound of my booming voice across Lake Chitwa? I couldn't think of a more horrible way to wake up first thing in the morning, so I'm not going to put any guests through an experience like that. I'd rather just let them rest and enjoy the fish eagles and all sorts of other things that are creating beautiful sounds from the dam. But I'm sure we'll get hold of the guides just now. This is quite a good signal area. Okay, let's go. I know they were tracking Cheetah at some point. I'm not sure exactly where it was. I think it was on Torchwood that they had Cheetah tracks moving around. I haven't heard anything else if they managed to successfully find them. It sounds like the cats have given us all the slip today. Okay. Right. So I think we're going to go towards the dam now. The guinea fowl have become very quiet, so maybe this cat has just sat down to rest, which will make it impossible for us to find him. Or I'm going to take a little walk through the bushes now. I'm going to send you across to Ali, and I think she's hoping there's going to be some leopards waiting for her at Twin Dams.
It's paid off. One of the other stations managed to bump into what seems to be a mother leopard and a cub. Not too sure which ones they are yet. We haven't been able to have a look, but unfortunately they have gone in a very thick area, so we're gonna try and see if maybe we can just have another close look at them. As they were steadily moving onto this direction. So unfortunately it's quite thick. So I just want to see what I don't know where they are. I just want to grab my binoculars and see if maybe we can see them from here. I think it's worth, because they are steadily moving in this direction to the road where we are, so I think maybe we should just wait around here for a few minutes, and if they don't pop out we can always just go back around and try to find them from within the block. The problem is that it's a very complicated block, lots of drainage lines, lots of trees, so if they are coming around here, I think rather than pushing them and scaring them off, we'll just wait for them to make their way over here. One of the other vehicles where he last saw them, he's still keeping an eye on them and just letting us know if they come around here, because I'm sure if they're steadily moving in a certain direction, this road is going to appear on their path. So let's just hang in tight. I'm sure we'll be able to see them somewhere around here. Let's see if maybe I can spot them through the binoculars.